Today I'm going to detail the process that takes place between an accepted offer and closing during a real estate transaction. Hello everybody, I hope you're all having an incredible day. My name is Aram, I'm a real estate agent here in the Chicagoland area, and today we are talking about the process that takes place between an accepted offer all the way to closing in a real estate transaction. And this video is going to go on more than just my YouTube. It's probably going to go on Instagram and Facebook because it's meant for two different audiences. Obviously, the one being my fellow real estate agents here on YouTube. Thank you for all your support. Please like, comment, subscribe. It means a lot to me. And then the second audience are the actual consumers, right? People looking to buy real estate, or if you haven't bought in like 15, 20 years, the process has changed. I'm going to go through it so that way you have a little bit of a background when it's your time to buy real estate, and you can have a smooth and easy transaction without any shocking moments like, oh, I didn't see that coming. So that's the purpose of this video. If you enjoyed, please show some support. Hit the like button, leave a comment below, all that good stuff. Quick disclaimer before we get into it. I'm an agent here in the Chicagoland area, so the process I'm gonna detail is specific to my area. However, the general process is the same across all states. There's going to be some minor differences here and there, which I will point out to you so, again, you are not shocked or caught by surprise. Step one, obviously, find the house you want to buy. If you're an agent or a consumer, it doesn't matter, right? Let's say you put a property under contract. The first thing that must happen is the earnest money. In almost every single state you go, within 1 to 3 business days of an accepted offer, the earnest money is due. And if you've never purchased real estate, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. And earnest money, the definition of it is a good faith deposit to show the seller that you as the buyer have some skin in the game. The reason this is asked for is because the process to buy real estate is a time-consuming thing. Generally speaking, if you're looking to get a loan, it's going to take 35 to 45 days on average for you to acquire financing, get the clear to close, and be able to actually purchase the property. During that time, the seller is not allowed to sell it to anybody else. They have to keep the place off the market under contract with you the entire time. That is the agreement. And for that time, that's where the earnest money is saying, hey, I'm serious. I got some skin in the game. Here's a portion of my down payment up front just to show how serious I am that I really, really want this property. And it's all depending on the price that you're buying in. Obviously, if you're buying a $100,000 condo, you're probably only gonna need like $1,000 for earnest money, right? But if you're buying a $600,000 home, you may need to put down $5,000, maybe even $10,000 to show that you're serious and you have the funds to actually close on the property. Now, in regards to the earnest money, I briefly want to talk about exactly in what instances the earnest money is safe and can be refunded, and when you actually would jeopardize losing it. So there's only 2 ways for you as the buyer to lose your earnest money. Number one is if you're negligent, right? For example, the lender asks you to fill out the loan paperwork, you don't. Right? You're supposed to do an inspection at certain deadlines. You don't meet any of the deadlines. We can't get a hold of you. You're not doing anything right. You're not signing the documents. You're not providing us what we need. You're negligent. That's not the seller's fault. That is the buyer's fault. You are basically in violation of the contract, and the seller is entitled to your earnest money. Okay? The second way you could lose that money is if you get the clear to close, because anytime before there's contingencies built in there to protect you as the buyer, as long as you're not negligent. After the clear to close, however, let's say you wake up on closing day and maybe you get a job transfer, or maybe, you know what, I broke my leg, I can't go up the stairs anymore, I can't buy this 2-story house, whatever the case is, right? If you decide not to move forward with the sale, in that scenario, if it's after the clear to close, you're going to lose your earnest money. Those are the only 2 circumstances. Other than that, if you decide to back out because during the inspection you found out there's a foundation issue, you get the money back. If you can't get your loan, you get the money back. And if for some other reasons that you need to back out, you get your money back. So it's pretty much secure, and it's not held by the seller or the buyer. It's held by a third party, which could be the title company, it could be the listing agent's brokerage, or it could be the attorney if the state you're working with actually has attorneys. The next step is something rather unique to Illinois, but I'll also explain what happens in other states as well. Here in Illinois, we call this the attorney review and inspection period. In other states that don't have attorneys to handle the real estate transaction, it's just called the inspection period. Right? They just take off the attorney part. But here in Illinois, we're lucky enough that we use attorneys, which is a huge benefit to you, the consumer, and to you, the real estate agent, because we're not lawyers. We're simply salespeople, and a lawyer can read the contract, have a good understanding of the law, and add extra layers of protection for your clients. So that's why attorneys are involved here in Illinois. So the first 5 to 10 business days are reserved for the attorney review and inspection. You have 5 business days to conduct your inspection. Whatever you want to do, you want to do radon, you want to do just a property inspection, if you want to check the plumbing, whatever you want to do, you have 5 business days to schedule everything and get it done, right? Then you have a total of 10 business days from accepted offer to come to an agreement with the other side, right? Let's say you do an inspection, you find some issues, now you have the right to renegotiate or back out and get your earnest money back. Let's say you renegotiate, you can ask for repairs or you can ask for an additional credit to cover any of the expenses that you're going to accrue when you take over the property. After the attorney review and inspection period is over with, you're pretty much good to go. The rest is easy sailing. Now you move forward to getting the loan. And this is when you have to make sure you, as a buyer, you don't get caught by surprise, and you want to make sure you get pre-approved long before you're looking to buy a property. Reason being is, once you get past attorney review and inspection, you already know you're approved for the loan. It's just a matter of doing the paperwork and waiting for it to go through the process that it needs to go through. So what will happen is when you get an accepted offer, your lender will reach out to you. They'll ask you to sign all the loan documents, all the mumbo jumbo. They're going to ask for a whole bunch of information from you, right? Your bank statements, pay stubs, tax records, all that. You provide it and then you wait. After the attorney review inspection period is over and you know for sure we're moving forward with the sale, that's when the appraisal is ordered. Generally speaking, it'll cost, at least here in Illinois, if it's a regular home, anywhere from $400, it could be up to $650. You never know, depending on the appraiser the bank wants to use, and you're just going to have to pay it. That's one of the few expenses that you have to pay as the buyer. You have to pay that up front. Everything else, excluding the inspection, because that's a third party, everything else is paid at closing. The purpose behind the appraisal process is because the lender does not want to risk loaning out money if you're overpaying for the property, right? They want to make sure that, if it's worth $130, we give you the money for $130, right? We're not paying $130 if it's worth $100,000. 3 things can happen when the appraiser goes out. It could appraise for purchase price, which means everything is good, we're moving forward, loan is good, right? It could appraise for more than the purchase price, which is great for you as the buyer and is not so good for the seller because it looks like they may have undervalued the home. The third thing that can happen, this is the only time where you would have somewhat of an issue, is if it does not appraise for purchase price. If it appraises for less than purchase price, you now have an opportunity to do a couple of things, okay? Number 1, you have the right to back out of the deal if you so choose. Most people won't. Number 2, you get to renegotiate with the seller. Hey, we're paying $260, but it appraised for $250. We have to change the purchase price to $250. Number 3 is you can actually negotiate with the seller, meet somewhere in between, and if, let's say, the seller's going to come down $5,000, you're going to come up $5,000, you have to bring that extra cash to closing. That's what could happen during the appraisal process. Once that is all complete, basically everything is done. Your appraisal report comes in. They already have all your loan paperwork. Then it gets submitted to underwriting for approval. The first thing that comes back is what's called a conditional approval. Basically, this is just saying, hey, you're approved for the loan as long as you meet these conditions that we have listed out here, which is most commonly like provide us your most recent bank statements, or maybe your most recent pay stub, or we're waiting for this tax return. Can you get that for us? Please provide proof of homeowner's insurance, small things like that. If you have a big issue that comes up during your conditional approval, that means something went wrong months before when you were getting your pre-approval. For example, this is the worst thing that you could do. Let's say your inspection period is over and you know what, my car breaks down and you go get another car, right? That could throw off your loan to income ratio, and that could be one of your conditional approvals. Hey, we gotta get this loan off the record, or blah, 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 right? So that's the conditional approval process. Once you meet all the conditions, you resubmit to underwriting, they make sure everything is clear to go, and poof, you get your clear to close, you go to the closing table, you sign your documents, you bring the rest of your money, and you buy the place. Or as a real estate agent, you get paid. Woohoo! It's time to celebrate, spend some money, and pay your taxes. And that concludes the process of a real estate transaction. I hope this was valuable information for you all. I hope you got something out of it. If you have questions, if maybe I missed something, leave it in the comments so I can respond to you and provide some clarity and all that good stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.